It's that time of the year, refrigerator maintenance. Perhaps your fan is making a little more noise than normal. Maybe your refrigerator is just not operating to what it normally has in the past. That could be due to some dust collecting in the compressor, and we'll take a look at that. Brad Williams, Grit DIY. Annual refrigerator maintenance. If your fan is making a little more noise than normal, perhaps you have some dust collected in the compressor. It's an easy fix. All you need is to move the refrigerator. That's probably the biggest part of this. Typically, modern refrigerators have wheels in the back. If it's a large refrigerator, you might need to empty it. Tip it back, use two people, and just slide it where you can get to the back. Most likely, it will have a paper backing. You're gonna see there's a paper backing. What you're gonna need, I have a 1/4-inch drive. You might have a different fitting. We're just gonna remove all these. Remove this back panel. I need a vacuum cleaner and some cleaning solution stuff. There's typically a fan in here. It collects a lot of dust. If you have silicone spray or if you have WD-40, it's generally like to spray the fan, and that's all you generally need to do. Let's take a look. I remember the first time I did this, I wasn't paying attention. And this thing seemingly looks pretty basic, but you have to line it up. So make sure you keep in mind the proper placement. I know, sometimes the easy stuff can get confusing. And I think there's probably 6 of these screws. And if you're bored, you can read all the different notation here. So there's 1, 2, 3, looks like there's 4 screws. Yeah. What you're looking at here is this compressor. This compressor has a little bit of dust in it. We have this fan right here. Hopefully you can see that. We have this compressor that's pretty dusty, but everything else looks pretty clean. I try to take care of this every year. This refrigerator is making a little bit of extra noise, and I need to try to figure out. So typically I'll go in here, I'll lube this. I'll use either some silicone here, this compressor. I'll just grab a vacuum cleaner and take care of that. But it looks good, and hopefully putting a little silicone on this fan will quiet it down. Before you start messing around, unplug the refrigerator. This shouldn't take any more than 10 or 15 minutes. That short period of time shouldn't have any impact on the things inside your refrigerator. Now your fan might be making a lot of noise. This fan is noisier than normal. I suspect it needs to be lubed. I'll use a WD-40. I have some silicone, but it doesn't work as well. Why don't we try it now? This thing needs to be cleaned, but the fan's running. I'm just gonna squirt a little. I just have this Walmart lubricant. I just sprayed the inside there, and I'll unplug this thing now and notice how much quieter it is already. And then I'll go right inside, spray it right inside there. Then I'll plug it back in. And that didn't solve the problem. Well, I'm gonna investigate, find out why this thing is making as much noise as it is. It might be that it's just cheap. It could also be the fact that the lube has to work its way in. Yeah, that noise shouldn't occur. I'll check it out. Oh, what surprises me is sometimes this small amount of dust could have an impact on the overall performance. Let's check it out. Let's try it. I just have a shop vac. I'm going to use this brush. You don't need to go any crazier than that in terms of cleaning. There's not a lot of additional space with these newer refrigerators. I'm gonna plug it in. Let's let it run a minute or two. And the noise persists. The noise is typically the fan. These fans are typically dirty. I have a sponge. I'm just gonna wipe them down. This year, they're not bad. If you can look, you can see there's a small amount of dust on there. That could be enough to trigger the noise. It could slightly off balance these things. This is just a cheap plastic fan, and there's a small amount of dust. In the past, these have been covered with a 1/4 inch of dust. A lack of maintenance. I'm as guilty as anyone else, but the noise was so bad that I thought I'd investigate, and cleaning the fans, both sides, if you can. Delicate, just wipe these up. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just wiping off the dust on the front and the back. Keep in mind, it's unplugged. And then just a little maintenance. Just clean it up a little bit. And maybe that solved the problem. Let's check it out. I'm gonna plug it back in. Let it run for a minute or two. Amazing. Simply wiping the fan removed the noise, and there was hardly any dust on the fan. Simple things. In summary, what you need to do on an annual basis in terms of cleaning your refrigerator fan and the compressor and the dust on your floor that has collected for probably years. So take 15 minutes, grab a vacuum cleaner, grab a little bit of lube, be sure to unplug your refrigerator, and save yourself a bunch of money, because somebody that comes out and does this is probably going to charge you 150 bucks. Here, you can do it for free. You know, when I said you have to pay attention to how to install this, there's writing on both sides. And if you weren't paying attention, you can easily find that you installed it upside down, backwards. So we'll reinstall this thing, and I guarantee I'll screw this up. But here we are, we're about 5 minutes into the review of this thing. In other words, this fan, and all I did was wipe the dust off the fan and it removed the noise. If you're running into the same kind of problem, well, there's your fix. And in terms of this thing, all right, it helps if you remember where you put the screws. And I probably misplaced the screws. One slid under the refrigerator, I know that. And I have another one over here. Looks like 2 of them slid under the refrigerator. Just line them up, and if I can. I can't find the other screws. Well, there's 2 of them. If you have to move this thing, be careful. I grab it from the bottom because I'm solo. And in the past, I've torn up my floor. So be extremely careful when it comes time to moving this thing. Like I said, it's easier if you have 2 people. Well, I'm just gonna install it here like so. Make sure you put the screws in correctly. See, now it's hung up. See, I'm sliding it back and forth, and that's just not good. I will try this Keep in mind my refrigerator's full. So I'll try to tip it back and roll it. See, now it's much easier to put it back because I can just tip it and roll it. If you're gonna reverse this, in other words, pull it out, I'm just gonna show you the problems you're gonna face because I just screwed up big time. You see what it just did to this floor? Yeah, I was aware of this. See, I just scratched the crap out of the floor here. It probably just scratched all the dirt off. Sometimes there's a tray, depending on your type of refrigerator. You may have a condensation tray under here. I don't. But if you do, be sure to take that out, clean it, and then read your operating maintenance guide. It'll give you some tips as to how to do your annual maintenance. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, you know, the same old stuff. Brad Williams, Grit DIY. Thanks for watching. Hope that helped. See you soon.